Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another update on the Wilsonville real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, February 12th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you as I always do here. I always want to put a plug in though. If you already haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a really great way for you to get these updates on a regular basis so you can kind of stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. So if you already haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button before you leave. So with that said, on to the update here. So this last week, we had 3 new listings come on the market in Wilsonville. So kind of a slower week in terms of new listings. We had a high of 9 here about 3 weeks ago and none on the week of Christmas here 8 weeks back. End of the week with 35 homes actively on the market. That's kind of unchanged from the week prior, and you can kind of see kind of where it came from. So, hasn't fallen dramatically. We had 44 to begin with. So it's been a fairly steady supply in Wilsonville over this past 2 months. The median list price and days on market for the actives, you can kind of see that that's definitely increased in terms of prices. We had a low of 674 here about 6 weeks back, and that increased up to about 745 2 weeks ago, and this last week fell back a bit to 735. And then days on market, you can kind of see that we've had a pretty big dip there. We were in the 60s to kind of begin with, and a high of 67 about 6 weeks back. And then let's call it, it's fallen back to closer to about a month of market time. So we had got down to 27 2 weeks ago, 29 2 weeks ago. And this last week came in at 36 days for these 35 homes actively on the market. Moving on to pending sales. This last week, we had 6 new pendings in Wilsonville, down a little bit from the prior week where we had 8, which was a high. But you can kind of see it's been pretty consistent, particularly over this past 4 to 5 weeks now of pendings per week. And that's been kind of continued to kind of grow the amount of pending inventory. So we had a low of 27 to begin with. And you can kind of see it's been rising from there up to about 34. So it's nice to see definitely increased activity right now since the beginning of the year in Wilsonville. And the median price and days on market for the pendings, that's been pretty steady in terms of price, as you can kind of see. Not a lot of movement there. Had a low of 665 and a high of 689, and that last week was just under that at 687. And then the days on market, you can kind of see we started off at 44, got down to 36, then bounced up to 53, and last couple of weeks it's been falling again. This last week fell back to 33, which was a low for this past 8 weeks. So just another indication that this increased amount of pendings is kind of driving this down. So definitely definitely a more active environment or active market over the past month in Wilsonville, which is great to see after a very slow fourth quarter. And then lastly, we'll finish up looking at sold listings. So this last week, I showed we had 3 homes go from pending to sold, which is down from the prior couple weeks. And when I look over the prior 4 weeks of activity, we ended it with 20 sales over the prior 4 weeks. And you can kind of see that that's kind of towards the top of the range of kind of where it's been, over the past two months now or 8 weeks. And then the median sold price and days on market, that has dropped a bit in terms of price. You can see we had a high of 665, got clear down to 527. So it's pretty dramatic drop in about a 4 to 5 week period. Has popped back up to right at around 600,000 over the past couple weeks. For these most recent 20 sales. And then days on market, that had been on the increase, started off at 19, and you can kind of see we finished up this last week at 51 days of average market time for these most recent 20 sales. So I would expect with the amount of newer pendings that we would see this continue to increase. And probably see these days on market continue to probably drop back down is what I would anticipate. And then finally, we'll finish up. We're looking at weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the list price. So you can see we peaked out at a little over 12 weeks of inventory here about 6 weeks back, and it has been on the decline from there. Been pretty steady over the past couple of weeks at right around 7 weeks of inventory based upon current levels of supply and demand. But again, I would anticipate, with the kind of the more increased pendings that we're seeing in the market, that this, that this months of inventory is going to probably decline from kind of where it's at right now over this next month, but we'll obviously see. And then the sale price as a percent of the original list price, that got up to a high of just under about 98%, dipped down to about 94% as a low, and you kind of see it's been on a little bit of an upswing back from there. So most recent reading is about 95. So about a 5% discount on average right now for the most recent sales that have taken place to get things sold. So about a 5% discount off the original list price. So that's the update in Wilsonville. So I hope that was helpful for you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. All my contact information is down below in the description below the video. So be sure to either give me a call or a text or send me an email, and I'd be happy to respond. And as always, really appreciate you tuning in and watching. Hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we will see you on the next update.